We'll start. Okay, today we'll start with chapter number 4. Very important chapter for section B. From this chapter, no section C, only section A and B, but very important from the perspective of section B. Short A and B will come, but very important. Specialist cost and management accounting techniques. In this chapter, we have around close to under this chapter, we have close to 6 to 7 chapters, 6 to 7 concepts, which are supposed to be 6 different chapters. They are totally not related. 6 different techniques, 6 to 7 different techniques we will see throughout the entire chapter. Very, very huge chapter, close to 70 pages. Before proceeding to this chapter, we have to know a concept called as absorption costing. Have you learned it somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Where? What do you know about absorption costing? Why are you looking at her? You tell. Tell what you know. It's okay.
Like budgeted fixed overheads, they will absorb based on the units, budgeted units. We have to tell the cost of margin, is cost we get to it. In margin costing, we do the normal things, like selling price.
Normal thing. Absorption costing? Abnormal, you consider.
No, sir. In marginal costing, we are doing it like till contribution only we do till per unit, and then we do fixed cost as a whole. Then there are options for percent cost and the budgeted units.
Almost correct. What happened is, when we start a business, generally one type of pricing is cost plus pricing, which we have seen in pricing chapter. To do cost plus pricing, first you need to know the cost. To know the cost, you need to know all cost. That is variable cost and fixed cost. But fixed cost, when we see rent 50,000 rupees, is fixed cost overall all units. But I want to know how much of that fixed cost is attributable to each and every unit. That is what we are going to learn in absorption costing. So what earlier we used to do, earlier means earlier times, traditional costing methods, what we used to do is total fixed cost. Let's take all fixed costs, rent, depreciation, salary, everything we will take together, we will add, it will come up to 1,50,000 rupees, any amount for that matter. We will divide it based on the number of units we produced. So what number of units? Suppose we are a shop where we are producing laptops, we produce laptops, phones, earphones, everything. Whatever you produce now, we will take all together. We will add all the number of units together, we will divide it based on the number of units, and we will find if the number of units is 20,000 rupees or 30,000 rupees for all units, we will find the fixed cost to be 5 rupees per unit. So every unit which we produce, 5 rupees of rent we will allocate. That unit's material, labor, direct expense plus variable overheads plus this fixed cost also we will put a 5 rupees, and then we will find out the total cost of that product. That is what earlier we used to do. We used to divide by the number of units, or we also used to divide by number of labor hours. Number of labor hours. Two things only used to do, either number of units or number of labor hours. Or first when they started doing, they were doing it based on number of units. That is, all products they will take, they will divide it based on the number of units and found out. And then what happened eventually is, iPhone, earphones, laptops, computers, supercomputers, everything we are taking. For iPhone also we are putting 5 rupees only. Listen, for iPhone also we are putting 5 rupees only. For earphones also we are putting 5 rupees only. For laptop also we are putting 5 rupees only. Is it fair? iPhone 70, huge phone we are putting 5 rupees. Earphones price is only this, for that also we are putting 5 rupees. So then they shifted to direct labor hours. Why labor hours? To produce iPhone you need more labor hours. Earphones less labor hours. Laptops more labor hours. So they thought labor hours will be rated for all the entire cost they'll put together, all the fixed costs they'll put together, and they'll divide it by the number of labor hours and they'll get the cost per labor hour. Suppose for iPhone I use 10 hours means that cost per labor hour into 10 hours will be the cost allocated to iPhone. Earphones I am using 2 hours means the cost per labor hours into 2 hours I'll allocate it to earphones. That is what they were doing initially. This method is called as absorption costing. After that, what they realized is everything you can't divide it based on number of units or number of labor hours, because all fixed costs you're adding together. No, not all fixed costs is the same. All the labor costs you can divide it by the number of labor hours. They're saying like that every cost should be divided by the respective item. Machine cost, if you have total machine cost now, we'll take the total machine cost, we'll divide it by the number of machine hours. If we have setup costs, we'll take the total setup cost, we'll divide it by the number of setups. So they wanted to do that eventually. First, everything they'll take this, put together, randomly they'll put together, divide it by number of labor hours, and then they will allocate it every product. Suppose the total cost is 1,50,000, total fixed cost 1,50,000, number of labor hours is 30,000 hours. What is the cost per labor hour? 5 rupees is the fixed cost per labor hour. Suppose for phone, if I use 10 hours, means what is the fixed cost allocated to phone? 10 into 5, 50. For earphones, if I use 2 hours, means 2 into 5, 10. This seemed okay. Compared to number of units, it seemed better. They want to make it even more accurate. Instead of putting all the costs together, what they started doing is, they started creating something called as cost pools. What they will do, assume it to be round 4 rounds. What they did, they put 4 rounds here. So they call as cost pools. What they do, all similar cost. Suppose this cost pool name is called as machine cost. This cost pool name, phone is coming. This cost pool name is labor cost. This cost pool name is setup cost. This cost pool name some cost. Every cost pool has some name. All machine related fixed costs, they'll take and put it here in machine cost. They'll club it and put it in the cost pool. All labor related costs, they'll take and put it in the cost pool. All setup costs, they'll take and put it in the cost pool. Now all other costs, they'll take and put it in the cost pool. Earlier we had only one cost. Total overall cost. Now we have 4 different. The cost is split into 4 different cost pools. So cost pools are nothing but accumulation of similar costs. Similar costs will put together and put it in one separate heading. That is called as cost pools. Now we should divide data. We should divide that based on the respective item. Every cost pool should not be divided based on the number of labor hours. At that cost pool, something similar will be there. Those are called as cost driver. Those are called as cost driver. That is what drives that cost pool. Why are we incurring that cost? Machine cost we will take. What drives that machine cost? What drives the machine cost? Machine hours. Based on number of machine hours we used, listen, based on number of machine hours we use, machine cost is going to increase or decrease. If you use more machine hours now, machine cost is going to be more. Less machine hours now, machine cost is going to be less. So the something which drives that machine cost is machine hours. That is called as cost driver. Something which drives the cost pool is called as cost driver. Understood this, sir? Something which drives the cost pool is called as cost drivers. This you have to know very clearly. So you know cost pool, cost driver. So how will we find out? We will take separate cost pool separately. Cost pool we will take, we will divide it by the cost driver. We will find out the respective value. For example, we will take the machine cost. We will take the machine cost pool. Machine cost is 20,000 rupees. Number of machine hours is 1000 hours. First in this, what is the cost pool? So what is the cost pool?
20,000.
Machine cost. That is 20,000 machine cost. What is the cost driver? Number of machine hours, not hours. Number of machine hours. What is the cost pool? Machine cost. Machine cost. What is the cost driver? Number of machine hours. So machine cost divided by number of machine hours. If you do what, you will get 20,000 divided by 1000. 20 rupees. Machine cost is 20 rupees per hour. Per machine hour. Machine cost is 20 rupees per machine hour. For iPhone, if I use 2 hours, what is the machine cost allocated to iPhone? 20 into 2, 40. For laptop, if I use 5 hours, 5 into 20, 100. 100 rupees is allocated to laptops. So what you have to know is cost pool divided by cost driver, you will get the something called as overhead absorption rate. These are all overheads. Direct cost means you can directly get the variable cost. These are all overheads, indirect cost. So indirect cost, how are they absorbed? We are seeing these are called overhead absorption rate. How much it's absorbed. So overhead absorption rate for machine cost is 20 rupees per machine hour. Like that you have to read. OAR, overhead absorption rate. For earlier absorption cost, this is all called as ABC costing. What is seeing now is called ABC costing. Earlier they used to call it as absorption costing. Absorption costing also you have overhead absorption rate, but you have only one.
Fixed overhead absorption.
Whatever. Overhead absorption rate only for one cost driver, one cost pool will be. But here you'll have various overhead absorption rates because you have various cost pools and various cost drivers. Understood? Understood ABC costing. So first, what are the two words we have to know in ABC costing? Cost pool and cost driver. Cost driver is nothing but what drives the cost pool is called as cost driver. That cost divided by the respective cost driver will get per hour or whatever into number of hours or whatever. Now you tell me this. Total setup cost is 1 lakh. Number of setups is total number of setups for all the products. Total cost pool is 1 lakh. So total setup cost is 1 lakh. Number of setups is 100. What is overhead absorption rate? 1000. 1000 per setup. You have to be very careful. Overhead absorption rate is 1000 per setup because 1 lakh divided by 1000 100 setups you are doing now. So 1000 per setup is the overhead absorption rate. So we got this. Suppose 100 is driving the 1 lakh. 100 is the number of setups is driving the 1 lakh.
Because of the 100
Increase or decrease? Because 100 will become 1 lakh. Because more it will be more, less it will be less. So overhead absorption rate is 1000. 1 lakh divided by 100. 1000 is the overhead absorption rate per setup. Suppose now what we do is you tell me logically, think and tell. For producing all iPhones, not laptop earphones, for producing all iPhones, I have to do 10 setups. For producing all iPhones, I have to do.
10 setups.
What is the total setup cost of iPhone? 10 into 1000, 10,000. But 10,000 is for all iPhones, not one iPhone. Now, how do you find the cost per iPhone? Divided by the number of iPhones. It is the total setup cost of all iPhones divided by the number of iPhones. So, in this, we have to do like this. Whereas machine hours is there now, directly machine hour per iPhone will be given. So, no problem. Machine hours, what we did? We found out the machine cost per machine hour. Every iPhone will use 2 machine hours. So, that into 2 you use. But here, we know the number of setups only for all iPhones. In that case, you have to find out the total cost, the setup cost for all the iPhones and divided by the number of iPhones, you will get the setup cost per iPhone. Understood? Don't worry, we have various questions based on this. While we keep proceeding, we will get to know more. Understood till this? No. Lot of unnecessary theory you have in that beginning about explaining all these. Don't worry about it, very easy. One important theory we need to know. So, why did we shift from absorption costing to ABC costing? First, to be more accurate. Second, what happened is, it's called as traditional costing method. This is called as modern costing method. Traditionally, what happened is, sir, every product will be made by hand only. Earlier, every product will be made by hand only. So, your major overheads was hand only. But now what happened? Every product started to make by machines and various other products. Earlier, setting up also hand will only do, dissolves hand will dissolve. So earlier, everything as a man did it. We took labor hours and we did. But now machine hours has come, a lot of different costs has come. So we started using ABC costing. So what the difference is, this is why we are using, earlier it was absorption costing and now it is ABC costing. This is one thing you need to know. Second is, no other theory is required. Everything we saw clearly. Understood? No. Understood how to do ABC costing now. An absorption costing or traditional costing method, what we used to do? Overheads. The overheads used to be divided based on
Labor
or number of units. Earlier it used to be divided based on labor hours or number of units. Now what we are doing? For respect to cost pool, we are using respect to cost driver and we are finding the cost per unit and we are allocating the products. Come to illustration number 2. Take your books and come to illustration number 2. ABC. Came to illustration number 2. Okay. Look, Saturn, a chocolate manufacturer, produces 3 products: Sky Bar, Moon Egg, Sun Bar. 3 products are Sky Bar, Moon Egg, and some 3 different chocolates. Okay. So direct labor cost per unit is given. Direct material cost per unit is given. No problem. We can directly add and we can find out. Number of units produced and sold is given. 5 lakhs and so and so. Leave all these. Leave all these and come down. Production overheads has been given to us. Total production overheads how much? 80,000 rupees. And breakup of that is given to us. Machine cost is 5,000, component cost is 15,000, setup cost is 30,000, packing cost is 30,000. Okay. Come below. They've given what? What is the data given to us below? Below table? Cost driver data. This is called as cost driver data. Now you think and tell. Machine cost is there now. What is the respective cost driver for machine hour? The machine cost. Machine hours. The machine hours given to us?
Yes, sir.
Good. We can directly take machine. We can split the cost driver based on number of machine hours. I'll tell you how to do it later. Is component cost given to us?
Yes, sir.
What is the respective cost driver for component cost? See below and see number of components. Super. Is setup cost given to us?
Yes, sir.
What may be the respective cost driver of setup cost? Number of production setups. Packing cost given to us?
Yes, sir.
What may be the respective cost driver?
Customer orders.
Understood. Cost pools are given to us above, and respective cost drivers are given. Earlier, what they used to do, 80,000 they take and they divide based on number of labor hours and they find. But now we will not do that. What is required? Using ABC costing, calculate the full production cost per unit and profit per G is the profit. We'll come to that later. Full production cost per unit means you have to take the variable cost and respective fixed cost you have to add for every unit. To find the fixed cost per unit only using ABC costing. Understood? We will do one by one. First, we will start with machine cost. First, we will take the cost we know. What the cost we already know? Sky, Moon, Sun. For these 3 products, what are the costs we already know? Direct labor and material we know. What is labor cost? 0.7, 0.14, 0.12. Directly cost per unit is given to us. We already know. What is the direct material cost? 0.17, 0.16. So this we already know. We can write it down. What other 4 costs we have to add here? Machine cost, component cost, setup cost, packing cost. These 4 costs we will add. Find the cost per unit of respective product and add to this. Then we will get the total cost. Understood?
Yes, sir.
We'll start one by one. First, we'll start the machine cost. What is the respective cost driver for machine costs?
Number of machine hours per unit.
What do you have to do? You have to take the total machine cost divided by the total machine hour. Total machine cost divided by total machine hours. How will you find the machine hours? Total machine hours. Add what?
Machine hours 5 lakh into 0.1.
Exactly. So machine hour per unit is given. Total we are producing 5 lakh units of Sky Bar. So total machine hours will be 5 lakh into 0.1. How much will you get? 5,000. 5 lakh into 0.1 is 5,000. Okay, yeah. Moon Egg. What is the total machine hours required for Moon Egg? 1,50,000 into 0.4. How much will you get? How much? 6,000. Next. 5,000. What are the total machine hours? 16. Total machine cost should be divided based on total machine hours only. 16,000. So machine cost is how much? Total machine cost 5,000 divided by total number of machine hours is 16,000. What you will get? 0.3125 is what? Cost per machine cost per machine hour. It's otherwise called as overhead absorption rate for machine cost. It's otherwise called as overhead absorption rate for machine cost. Understood? So cost machine cost per hour is 0.3125. How many hours per unit we are using in Sky Bar? 0.01. So what you have to do? 0.3125 into 0.01. How much will you get? 0.003125. That will be your cost. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Next, for same you do for moon, egg, and sun also. What you will get? 0.04 into 0.3125. 0.04 into 0.3125. How much you will get? 0.0125. For sky egg, what you will do? Sun bar. Sun bar you have 0.3125 into number of machine is 0.02. You will get 0.00625. 0.00625. Understood, all of you? So machine cost should be found out. Next, what cost do we have?
Component cost.
Next we have component cost. Component cost, what is the respective cost driver? Number of components. How will you find the overhead absorption rate for component cost? Total component cost divided by the number of components. Total component cost is 15,000 divided by number of components is how much?
4 plus 6 plus
20. How much? 30. 30 is the number of components. So what you will get? 15,000 divided by 30, you will get 500 per component. Overhead absorption rate of component cost is 500 per component. 500 per component. Understood, all of you? Now for sky bar, how many components are we using?
4.
So total cost for sky bar is 500 into 4. 2,000 rupees is the total component cost for sky bar. Total component cost for sky bar is 2,000 rupees. What is the component cost per unit? 2,000 divided by the number of units. What is the number of units? What is the number of units? 5 lakhs. So 2,000 divided by 5 lakhs will be 0.004. For moon egg, what is the number of components used? 6 components you are using. Cost per component is 500. 500 into 6 is 3,000. 500 into 6 is 3,000. So 3,000 divided by this will give you 3,000 divided by 1,50,000 will give you 0.02. 3,000 divided by now for sun bar, how many components are we using? 20 components are using. Cost per component is 500. 500 into 20 will give you 10,000 is the total component cost for sun bar. What is the number of units? 2,50,000. So that will give you 0.04 will be the component cost for sun bar. 0.04. Understood, all of you? Yes or no? After this question, I'll give you a beautiful analysis. Okay. Next, what is the next cost? Huh? Setup cost. What is the setup cost? 30,000. What is the respective cost driver? Number of setups. What is the total number of setups? 3 plus 1 plus 26. 30 setups. What is the cost per setup? Don't use calculator, use a mind and tell me. How much? 1,000. 3 lakhs divided by 30,000 divided by 30,000 per setup. So we have to call it overhead absorption rate for setup cost will be equal to 1,000 rupees per setup. What? How many number of setups are doing in sky bar? So 3 into 1,000 will give you 3,000. For moon egg, 1 into 1,000 will give you 1,000. For sun bar, 26 into 1,000 will give you 26,000. We know the total setup cost. We have to find out the per unit now. So 3,000 divided by number of units is how much? Divided by 5 lakhs will be 0.006. For moon egg it will be 1,000 divided by 20,000. How much you will get? 0.0067. For sun bar, 26,000 divided by 2,50,000. 0.10. Super. Now we'll go to purchase cost, packing cost. What is the respective cost driver for packing cost? Why? Exactly. When order one comes in, we will pack. Based on customer's order only, we will pack. Understood? So what you will get? Total packing cost is how much? 30,000 divided by total number of customer orders is 21 plus 4 plus 25, 50. Over and absorption rate for packing cost will be 600 per. Don't per order. 600 per order. For now, for 3 products, you tell me sun bar, sky bar, what will be the total packing cost? 600 into 21, that will be 12,600. For second, it will be 600 into 4, that will be 2,400. For third thing, it will be 600 into 25, that will be 15,000. Understood? These are the total packing costs for 3 products, but we need packing cost per unit. So, what we will do now? 12,600 divided by number of units is 5 lakhs. How much will get? 0.052. Next, you will get 2,400 divided by 1,50. 0.016. Next, 15,600 divided by 2,50,000. 0.06. Now we found out the cost per unit of all the products are. Now we add all the products. We get the total production cost for all units. Understood all of you? Understood all of you? So while doing this, we will get a more accurate cost of all the 3 products. So if you come to the cost driver now, come to the cost driver once. Think logically and tell if you are allocated based on the number of units. No, Sky Bar has more number of units, but its cost driver, you see, everything is very less. Sun Bar only 2,50,000 units, but cost driver for every unit is more, 26 to 20, 25, everything comparatively is more. So technically we would have allocated more cost to Sky Bar and less cost to Sun Bar, but we should allocate more cost to Sun Bar, less cost to Sky Bar. That is why when we use respect to cost pool and cost driver, we get a more accurate cost. That is why using the concept called as ABC costing. Earlier they were dividing mainly based on number of labor hours. What is the total number of labor hours? In case in the same question they ask you to find based on traditional absorption costing, means what you will do? Total 80,000 you will take. Total labor hours. Come above. They have given the direct labor hours per unit. Direct labor hours per unit is given to us. With that, multiply by the number of units and find out the total labor hours. 0.001 into 5 lakhs plus 0.01 into 1,50,000 plus 0.005 into 2,50,000. Find out the total labor hours. Find out the total labor hours. Divide the total 80,000 rupees, divide the total labor hours, how much you will get? What is the total number of labor hours? 3,250. Yeah. 80,000 divided by 3,250, you will get 24.6153 whatever per labor hour. Into 0.001, if you do, you will get the cost for this. Into 0.01, you will get the cost for this. Into 0.005, you will get the cost for this. Understood? There, your direct labor cost and direct material cost per unit will remain the same. For the 4 costs, instead of putting it separately, everything will put together as one cost. Understood all of you? Yes or no? This is how we used to do using traditional absorption costing. I will give you 10 minutes time. But before that, let's have a recall. If machine hours per unit is given, what we will do first? A machine cost we will take divided by number of machine hours. We will get the machine cost per hour into respect to number of hours. If you do, you get the cost for everything. Machine hours is easy. Other things what you have to do, for example, setup costs. Total setup cost you take divided by the number of setups. You will get the setup cost over absorption rate per setup. You will get number of setups. Respective items, number of setups, if you do, you get the total setup cost for A, B and C, all the 3 products. Once you get the total setup cost, then divided by the number of units, you get the cost per unit of all the 3 products. So the question should be answered. With this, you can find the total cost. Now in the question, they'll ask you to find both using traditional absorption costing and using ABC costing. Both they will use to find out. In this, they are asking for ABC costing. I will give you exactly 10 minutes time. Try to do it in the same way. Understood? Come to test your understanding question number 1. We don't have to do it, but we will just go through the question on what we should do. Okay. So, first in the current question, once you find out the total cost, what are they asked in the question? They asked for profit also. They asked for the full production cost. The 2 plus this 4 will give you the full production cost. To that you minus a selling price. So you'll get a profit. What is selling price per unit? 5, 0.45, 0.435. Minus this, you'll get the profit per unit. Understood all of you? Now let's proceed to test understanding question number 1. We'll just go through the question once. Nothing is there. We do not do it again. And that's again a huge question. We'll just go through it once and then we can proceed to the next question. Cabal, I don't know what you call it also. Cabal makes and sells 2 products, plus and double plus are the 2 products. The direct cost of production is 12 and 24. What is this? What do you mean by the direct cost of production? Direct cost is given. Oh, what is overhead? Overhead is indirect cost. Indirect cost only is splitting and giving. Direct cost you directly know for the product. Direct cost you directly know for the product. Indirect cost is splitting and writing. So direct cost is given to us. That is, in earlier case it was material and labor. In this case they gave the direct cost of production as 12 and 24 for plus and double plus 2 products. Information is given to us. Number of units is given to us. Labor hour per unit, orders, batches, setups, special parts, etc. They only gave the cost pool and they gave the respective cost driver name also. We don't think and write. That also they gave to us. One by one we will go. Earlier means what we would have done. Traditional absorption costing, what we would have done. Come to the part now. Question part number A now. Calculate the production cost per unit of plus and double plus. The company uses traditional absorption costing and the overheads are required on the basis on direct labor hours. So entire cost of how much? 32,000. 4,32,000 is divided based on what? How will you find the labor hours, total labor hours? So what are the total labor hours? Do the question and let me know. What are the total labor hours? What are the total labor hours in the question? 60,000. 24,000 units into 1 hour. 24,000 units into 1.5 hours. Total 60,000 labor hours we have. Total cost is 4,32,000 divided by 60,000. If you do, how much you will get? 4,32,000. 7.2. 7.2 is the what? Overhead absorption rate for total cost, that is per labor hour. Overhead absorption cost per labor hour. That is how much? 7.2. What is the overhead cost per unit of plus? Overhead cost per unit. 1 into 7.2. Overhead cost per unit of plus is, listen. Overhead cost of 1 unit of plus is 1 into 7.2. That is 1 hour into 7.2. Overhead cost of 1 unit of double plus is 1.5 into 7.2. Understood? This is using what method? Traditional absorption costing method. Now what method we have to use? ABC costing. Every cost you have to do separately. One by one you will see how to allocate. First, we know, but we found the overhead cost per unit. No, 1 into 7.2 and 1.5 into 7.2. What is the total production cost? Total production cost is 12 and 24. Sorry, direct cost is 12 and 24. To that you have to add your indirect cost, that is 7.2 and 10.8. If you add both, you will get the total production cost. Understood all of it till this? Yes or no? Don't see the answer. Don't see the answer on water cases. What dividing by? That what you multiply. 7.2 is the cost per labor hour. Multiply by the labor hours per unit. 1 hour per unit is 1.5 hours per unit. 7.2 into 1, 7.2 into 1.5. And we have direct cost as 12 and 24. Added to 12 and 24, you get the respective answer. So 12 plus 7.2 is 19.2 and 24 plus 10.8 is 34.8. Understood? Any doubts? What doubt? Understood. This is using what method? Absorption cost, traditional absorption costing method. Now we use ABC costing, that is, for ABC costing, this 12 and 24 will remain the same. Other than that, 7.2 and 10.8 will not come. We have to have 4 other costs. And we add everything, we will get the total cost. One by one we will go. You don't have to write anything. We will just go through and then we can proceed. First, setup cost. What is the respective cost driver? Just a calculator. Take only your calculators. Nothing else is required. Take your calculator. Setup cost is number of setups. What is the number of setups given to us? I just want the answer. What is the number of setups? Total setup cost is 73,200. We have divided based on what? 4. Okay, any other answer? $732. You tell your answer. Why are you feeling shy? $732. Hmm? Mm-hmm. You tell your answer. 732, 4. Your answer? Am I? Or 92. Okay. 732 is correct. This is easy second standard question. What have they given? What? Why do you have to have a doubt in your answer? Look, number of setups per batch is 1. Total batches is 12. 1 into 12 is 12. Number of setups per batch is 3. Total number of batches is 240. 240 into 3, 720. 722 plus 730, 712, 732. First, you have to know what does a setup mean. Because I'll tell you that. Number of batches is 12 batches. No. So I'll produce my units in batches of 12. Not batches of 12. Total 12 batches. So first I will do one batch. I'll produce some units. Then one batch. Like 12 batches. I'll produce the total number of units in 12 batches. After every batch, I have to do one setup in case of plus. Whereas in double plus, I have total 240 batches. Batch, 240 batches I have. Every batch, I have to do 3 setups. In every batch I produce, setup means setting up the machine. So total number of setups per batch is 1 into 12, 12, 3 into 240, 720. So total number of setups is 732. Then what you will do? 7,32,000 divided by 732. If you do what you will get? 100 is what? Cost over absorption rate, setup cost per setup. 732. Overhead absorption rate. First tell that. Then tell the cost. What is the cost here? Setup cost is 732 per setup. Overhead absorption rate, setup cost for setup cost is equal to 732 per setup. Understood? And then what you will do? Multiply by the number of setups. What is the number of setups? 12 and 720. So that into 12 if you do, 732 into 12 if you do, 32. Sorry. 100 into 12 if you do, you will get the setup cost 1200. Then 720 into 100 you do 72,000. Understood? So 1272,000. That is the total setup cost for plus and double plus. That divided by the number of units and added to your cost. Understood? Next, we have special parts handling. 60,000. 60,000 is what? The cost to pool. 60,000 is the cost pool. Or the cost driver. Number of special parts is given to us. How much? What is the total number of setup parts? Huh? How much? 60,000. No, some mistake you did somewhere. No. Number of special parts. Total setup special parts handling should be divided by the total number of special parts. Tell me the total number of special parts. 1,20,000. So special parts per unit is 1 and 4. 1 into 24,000 and 4 into 24,000. If you do, you get total number of special parts as 1,20,000. Special parts cost is 60,000. 60,000 divided by 1,20,000 is 0.5. 0.5 per overhead absorption rate for special parts handling is 0.5 per special part. Cost zero, that is per special part. Per special part is how much? 0.5 means into correct. What you will do, Do the big way only, no problem. 0.5 into 24,000, you get the total number of special parts for cost for plus again divided by 24,000. So same only you will get 0.5 into 24,000 again divided by 24,000, but you still do that step. In exam shortcut we don't need, we'll get confused in exam. 0.5 per special part, meaning the total special part cost. 0.5 into 24,000 units, if you use the total set of special part cost divided by the number of units 24,000, again you will get 0.5. For double plus, 0.5 into 96,000, you will get the total special parts cost for double plus divided by 24,000. If you do, you will get the special parts cost per unit of double plus. Understood all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Other material handling, what is the cost pool?
Number of batches.
Or cost pool? 63,000. Other material handling is the cost pool, 63,000 is the amount. Cost drive is number of batches. Number of batches given to us.
Yes, sir.
Number of batches directly given to us, so no changes. So what is the total number of batches? 252. So 63,000 divided by 252, what are you getting? How much? 250. So tell me the name of that. Overhead absorption rate for other material handling is 50 per 250 per batch. 250 per batch. Now what is the total material handling cost for plus 250 into 12, 3,000 total and this way. Only if you tell 250 per batch, you know that you have to multiply by number of batches. 250 into 12 and 250 into 240 will get the total, divided by respective number of units, you will get the material handling cost per plus and per unit of plus and double plus. Last one, other handling cost. What is the what is the cost driver? What is the cost driver? Number of orders. What is the number of orders? 150, 10 and 140. 150 is the total number of orders. What you will do? 19,800 divided by 150. If you do, what you will get? How much? 132. Tell me the name. Overhead absorption rate for other handling cost is equal to 132 per order. First find the total cost. Total cost multiplied by the number of orders. 132 into 10, if you do, you will get 1320. Divided by 24,000 units, you will get per unit. Same do for double plus also, you will get the other handling cost. Sir, what is the cost driver for other overheads? What is the cost driver for other overheads given to us? I'll give you time to discuss. What is the cost driver for other overheads given in the question? If nothing is given to us in the question, we will use traditional absorption costing method, that is direct labor hours. What is the total number of labor hours? Per unit is given, now multiply the number of units, give the total labor hours, whatever it is. 2,16,000 divided by 60,000, if you do, how much you will get? 2,16,000 divided by 60,000, if you put, how much you will get? Overhead absorption rate for other overheads is equal to 3.6 per direct labor hour. Next, what you have to do? Into labor hour per unit. Into 1 into 1.5, if you do, you will directly get the answer. For, be very careful, only for number of hours and hours is given, only you can use a shortcut. Direct hours is given and directly 3.6 into 1, 3.6 into 1.5 you can do. If machine hours is given, machine hour per unit will be given. That into number of units that you can directly do. Any other thing which you do, find the total of plus and double plus and then divide by the number of units. Understood? Be very careful, don't get confused. Even if you want, for this also you can do the total. For this also if you want, you can do the total if you want, no problem. Understood? This is how a question should be approached. Yes or no? I'll give you 5 minutes time. Please go through, don't write anything. Please go through this question, then we can proceed to the next question. Go through the answer also. Go through the question and answer, then we can proceed to the next question. Now we will see some advantages and disadvantages of ABC costing. Technically, there is no disadvantage. Some of our namesake they given disadvantages, but we'll see advantage. Advantage also, see one advantage. There is technically one advantage. And one advantage in various names they wrote and gave. Understood? First advantage, all of us know. It gives more accurate cost per unit. Cost per unit, if you use ABC costing, it will be more accurate. Tell me what is the first advantage? It provides a more accurate cost per unit. Tell.
It provides a more accurate cost per unit.
It provides a more accurate cost per unit. Second is, it gives us a better insight. What is insight?
Understanding.
Some understanding. It gives a better insight on what drives the cost. In absorption costing, you don't know. Everything is driven by labor hours, we'll think. But here it tells what drives the cost. Labor cost is driven by labor hours. Machine cost is driven by machine hours. Like that, we know what drives the cost. So, it gives a better insight on what drives the cost. Still, it gives a better insight on what drives the cost. Tell again. It's a better insight on what drives the cost. What is the first point? More accurate cost per unit. What is the first point? More accurate cost per unit. Second point? It gives insight. It gives an insight, better insight on what drives the cost. It gives a better insight on what drives the cost. A, first point A is accurate. First point A is accurate. More accurate cost per unit. Second B, better insight on what drives the cost. Understood? Third point. ABC tells us, listen, you can take it later. ABC tells that all overhead costs are not related to production and sales volume. Earlier, what we used to do, based on production volume only, we used to this thing. No, ABC tells us clearly that not all overheads are related to production and sales. Same. iPhone we may produce 1,000. Earphones we may produce 10 lakhs. We can give more to earphones because it's produced more. That's what ABC tells us. ABC tells us that overheads are not related, not all. Overheads are not all related to production. Some are related to production and sales. Not all overheads are related to production and sales. So ABC tells us not all overheads are related to production and sales. Tell. She tells us that not all overheads are related to production and sales. Tell again. ABC tells us that not all overheads are related to production and sales. That is third point. A, B, C. Three letters are there. First point A, accurate. What is accurate? Most accurate cost per unit. Second one B, better insight as to what drives the cost. Third point A, B, C. Three letters. A, B, C tells us overhead, not all overhead costs are related to production and sales. Fourth D, derive. It helps us to derive realistic cost. Tell. Derive realistic cost. Tell. It helps us to derive realistic cost. Understood? These four things. It is easier. One more point we'll remember. What is the fourth point? It helps us to derive realistic cost. One last thing is. No. Very. 4 points is enough, but the fifth one is very important. For service costing, it is better. Production also, at the most, we will know what is related to what, but in service costing, we will not know. So, ABC costing can be used easily in service costing as both. It can be used both in service costing and product costing. Service product. It can be used in both service and product costing. Understood? These are 5 points you have to remember it. Advantages about ABCD. Proceeding to do two disadvantages. Nothing is there in disadvantage. First, it is more complex to driver is given to us, cost pool is given to us, we'll find out. But in real world, it's very complex to do. ABC costing is complex still. Complex to derive. ABC costing very complex to derive. You can tell whatever. Next, second is not all costs have respective cost drivers. Or it is difficult to allocate cost to cost drivers. Cost driver to cost. Or cost to cost drivers. It's difficult to allocate cost to cost drivers. We can't tell like this is cost driver is this. Now we can tell because everything is given to us. But in real life, some cost we can't even give the cost driver. Understood? Second point is difficult to allocate cost to cost drivers. That connect, not allocate, will connect. It is difficult to connect cost to cost drivers. One more we can tell is sometimes cost driver might be inappropriate. We would have put one cost driver, but it's not necessarily that it will be correct. We would have put something, but it's not necessary that it will be correct. Sometimes cost driver might be inappropriate. Understood? So three things you tell me. Disadvantage. More complex to do or derive whatever. Second. Connect cost to cost drivers. Third. cost driver might be inoperable. These are three disadvantages of ABC. Now we are going to see ABC in public sector. Public sector means what? Government, not entire company. 50%, 51% or more. 51% or more, both or more is held by the government, or the share is held by the government. That's called as a public sector company. Now we are going to see this theory. Nothing is there. Some for whether public sector company or normal company or LLC or a limited company, anything for that matter, sums will remain the same. Fourth theory we are going to see, very small theory. Why ABC is required in public sector company? Nothing you have to remember this, just headings we'll remember and go. First is public, you tell everything, then I will explain what it means. First is public responsibility. Tell
Public responsibility.
Tell public. Second is public accountability. Second is third is resource allocation within organization. Allocation within organization. Fourth is helping managers to manage. These are the four reasons why ABC is introduced in a public sector company. Tell again: public responsibility, public accountability, resource allocation within the organization, helps managers to manage. What it means, I'll tell you. As the public responsibility, first thing is every organization is responsible to public, because every company is handled by the government and government gives money to run the company or run the department. Some company department, the government gives money to run the department. Whose money is that? Our money. Taxpayers' money is what is giving. So they have to be responsible. They have to be responsible in handling such money. To be responsible, first you need to know what cost is going where. To know what cost is going where, you need to do ABC costing. Only if you do ABC costing, you know what cost is going where. That is why it's called as public responsibility. Accountability is the same thing. Whether the money is spent wisely or not, we have to see. They are accountable to us. So we have to see whether the money is spent wisely or not. To know that, they have to do ABC costing. Understood? What is the first point? Responsibility. Second, accountability. Third is resource allocation within the organization. What happens is there are various departments in governments. Listen to me, you can write later. There are various departments in government. What happened is some department will directly deal with customers. Front face, you can write later. Some departments will directly deal with customers. Some departments will do back end work. What usually happens, the departments that are directly dealing with customers will be allocated more resources, because they'll think it's in front of the government, dealing directly with customers, they're dealing with more customers, so more resources will be allocated, more money will be allocated to these departments, and departments that are working back end, less resources will be allocated to them because less that's the number of public they're dealing with. That is normally they'll do. But technically how it should be done? Based on what cost incurring, based on the cost rate only resources should be allocated. No. Just because they're dealing with more public, it doesn't mean that more resources should be allocated to them. So only if you do ABC costing, you'll know what they're actually doing, how much cost should be allocated to them, how much resources should be allocated to them, how much work they are doing based on how much work should be allocated to them. Police, there are two types of police. One is police department who are working front end, law and order. Second one is crime. Law and order is what you see police daily basis. They'll go problem, they'll go see and come. Crime, you'll not see them only. They'll be working in back end. Any problem comes in any place, criminal work comes, they'll go do research, that and all they will do. Front law and order police will use a lot of public. That doesn't mean that it will give them more resources, more car petrol. We'll take government. What will happen if government gives more car petrol to them, saying they're dealing with more public. So for them more car petrol we'll give. They're working back in, no. For them less car petrol we'll give. Like that you can't tell. Just because the criminal police department is leaving less public doesn't mean that they don't go out. They also go out and back end work they do. So based on how much car they use, only petrol should be allocated to them. Not based on how much public they deal with, not based on how much case they deal. That is why ABC is important in public sector organizations also. Resource allocation within the organization should be done fairly. For that, ABC is important. Understood? What is the first one? Responsibility. Second one, public accountability. Third one, resource allocation within the organization. Fourth one, helping managers to manage. So manage, if ABC is there, the manager will know how much is going there, how much is going where, he'll know. For that, he'll understand. These are the four things why it is important in a public sector organization. Nothing more is required here. Understood all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ABC is done. Absorption costing in ABC is done. Now let us proceed to the next concept called as throughput accounting. Let's go to the next concept called as throughput accounting. Close your books, nothing is required. When books are required, you close your books until then. First, before proceeding to throughput accounting, you need to know two concepts called as total quality management and just in time. What are they? Huh?
You already know.
We'll know now whether you know or not. I already said it correctly, but you'll know now whether you know or not. Tell what do you mean by total quality management?
Total quality, quality. So we divide it into 4 costs. Complaints cost and non-complaints cost.
Which subject did you say this in?
CPM.
CPM, okay. CPM, okay. Tell.
Complaints cost, we have prevention cost and appraisal cost. Non-complaints cost, internal failure cost, external failure cost. We must ensure that more of compliance cost.
Awesome, given us. That detail is not required here. Here you have to know that total quality management is first it is a management technique which ensures that whatever goods we produce is the highest quality. Whatever we do, that is this total quality management is not only that, in your real life also, whatever you do, no, whatever, let it be whatever. Let it be that you are helping your parents to dry clothes in the terrace. Make sure you do it with perfect quality. Whatever you do, this is a technique followed by Japanese. Any product you get of theirs, no, it will be a first quality, even including the packing, labeling, packing thickness, the health in packing. India, I don't want to tell badly about India because here it's all about making short-term money. No one is focusing on making long-term money. Eventually, we are developing, we are improving. We are improving a lot. A lot of new companies are coming. Existing companies are changing their quality. Earlier on, if you see, when you go to a shop, a random torn board will be there. Front of a shop, name board will be there. No, in paper it will be there. Now, if you see, everything is light board. Everything is changing on a daily basis. So, they're saying, whatever you do, right from production to supply to post-care service, make sure there's quality in every aspect. Managing quality in every aspect. That is what you can do. It's a management technique which ensures there's quality in every aspect. Understood? Generally followed by Japanese organizations. That is, you can tell directly like that. Every company is following. India also, a lot of companies are starting to follow. Because if you don't follow that, now you will get money. If you don't focus on quality, focus on your money, your cost savings now you'll get money. In the future, customers will not come to you. But if you start giving quality, now your profit margins might be less. But a lot of customers will eventually start coming. So that is one thing. You will see 4 features of total quality. First, prevention of errors before they occur. Don't worry about after some problem occurs, then rectifying it. More cost only will come. After producing a product, after seeing that some problem in there, before that only, try to appoint one person who can check if the products are producing good quality. Instead of trying to save money here, if you just appoint some person and check quality in this phase of product now, no products will be wasted. So, prevention of errors before they occur. Tell.
Prevention of errors before they occur.
Second, you can give quality products only if senior management helps the juniors. Your job you do if you go now, he'll do only what he knows. So make sure commitment of senior management to the cost. Any cost happens now, senior management should also commit to it. Commitment of senior management to the cost. Tell again.
Commitment of senior management.
You can directly blame and go. You only didn't know you have any problem, you can blame and go. You shouldn't do that. Whatever happens, you should also be committed. That's when you'll also ensure that the quality is being done. Second is commitment of senior management to the cost. First point is
Prevention of
errors before they occur. Second is commitment of senior management to the cost. Next, recognize the need for continuous improvement. Each and every day you shouldn't sleep. I did everything correctly, everything is going good. Each and every day when you proceed now, what extra I can do tomorrow? We also call it Kaizen, like what extra you can do tomorrow, what extra improvement you can get tomorrow. It, as a theoretical concept, it may look very easy. Try to implement it in your practical life. Leave that. Daily you are studying for 5 hours. What extra I can do tomorrow other than studying? Every change now, it does not mean to be a 1 hour change. 1 minute change is also change. Today you are doing 5 push-ups means tomorrow try to do 6 push-ups. One change in 365 days is 365 changes. 1% change also you are able to do on a daily basis. In 1 year you can do 365% change. So, recognize the need for continuous improvement. 3 things you will remember more than enough. First one is prevention of errors before they occur. Second one is senior management to the cost. Then need for continuous improvement. Something should be there on a daily basis. This and all, more than a concept, it works in your real life also. Understood? Next we will see something called as just in time. We will see something called as What do you understand? Have you learned what you mean by just in time?
You don't need to, the supplies are more trustable. So only if we get an order, we will get it immediately from the holding stock like that.
Correct.
We studied it as
Just in time, people, one part of it, they take it wrong. They think we will order goods only when the customer order comes. It's not like that. That is where everyone takes. That's why it's written here also. But it is wrong. Just in time doesn't mean that when customer gives an order and then only we'll go call the supplier and then it's not like that. It's not like that. Just in time, ultimate objective of just in time is normally what we will do in goods. We will manufacture everything and keep. Whenever customer asks, we will give. This is called as push method. This is called as push method. We will manufacture and keep. We'll try to push the products. We'll give discount. We'll do something. We'll try to push the products. Next is called as pull method. We'll start to manufacture only after we get the order, but not technically that. We technically don't start to manufacture after we get the order, but we will assess the customer's order. Today is Saturday. We'll assess that we'll get certain products, and based on that, we'll keep everything ready. This name doesn't mean we'll just call everything will come. We'll keep everything. We'll call and intimate that there might be 60 orders today. This is a Saturday today. Tomorrow is a Saturday. There will be 60 orders. So please be ready. Not long term, short term. Tomorrow is Saturday or next week is a good week, a holiday week. We can expect 200 orders in the upcoming week. So we will try to make sure we keep everything ready in order to manufacture the 200 orders easily. Understood? We'll call an independent supplier. We might get 200 orders next week, so please be ready. We'll keep our production machines ready. So we can assess to some extent. Suppose each day we are going to get 40 orders now. What we will do, 20 orders definitely we will get. So 20 orders we'll start manufacturing. Rest of 20 orders we'll start to manufacture once and as and when we start getting the order. What is the ultimate objective? Why not produce everything and keep and then you give to customers? Inventory holding cost is a huge cost. First, expiry wastage might be there. Second, holding, you have to take a place on rent. Further, you should make sure there are no mosquitoes, no ants or no rats come to that place. You have to appoint few people to take care of the place. A lot of holding costs will be there. Sometimes you have to keep it in cold storage. Vegetables and all, if you buy, you can keep for 2 months, now you keep in cold storage. Huge AC cost will go. This and all, to consider they bought something called as just in time. Just understand the concept of just in time, more than nothing. So I'll just ask some questions. Just in time will produce products in large batches or small batches?
Small batches.
Small batches when and as and when required. We produce fast or we produce slow? Fast. As and when we get, we have to make sure everything is ready. We produce for this and all. You have to know for MCQ purpose. Nothing more is required you or you know in just in time. Just in time will work only when you have high level of automation. Just in time will only work when you can't directly depend on labor. Just in time will only work when you have high level of automation. Everything is automated. Customer gives order, you put it inside, it will come out in the next 1 hour. That's how just in time should work. Understood? Nothing more is required to be known just in time. Now we'll see something called as throughput accounting. It's something called as throughput accounting. Throughput accounting is nothing but it is the same as, not same, it is related to what we saw called as limiting factor in planning with limiting factors chapter. Similar to it. There we call it limiting factor, here we call it constraint. There we call it limiting factor, here we call it theory of constraint. There, how we'll see, how we can identify between a limiting factor theory of constraint. Limiting factor theory will tell machine hours is less, labor hours is less, direct labor is less, demand is less. This and all they will give in limiting factor. Theory of constraints, the other name you can call it is, or throughput accounting, you can call it as bottleneck. How will a Bisleri, not Bisleri bottle, Aquafina bottle, how will it look? If you see bottle is coming here now, neck will be small, again it goes above. How much ever water you pour above, this is limited. This may be huge. The below part may be huge, but this part is, the neck part is limited. How much ever fast you pour, what is able to go through that only will go. Here we can produce more, but in this part, it's a constraint. Here we can produce only less. That is why it's called as a bottleneck. Theory of constraint, other is called as a bottleneck. You see, above opening is big. How much ever you put inside, it doesn't matter because here there's a constraint. In real life, what is the bottleneck is, a single product has to go through 3 machines. Single product has to go through 3 machines. First machine can produce in one day, it can produce 10,000 units. Second machine can produce in one day, it can produce 5,000 units. The third machine in one day, it can produce 20,000 units. What is the bottleneck resource here? 5,000 units. Even though you put 10,000 units inside, only 5,000 units can go inside the second process. Even though you can produce 10,000, 20,000 units later, only 5,000 units can be manufactured here. Assume it to be, we are a shoe manufacturing company. What we are? Shoe manufacturing company. To manufacture, we can manufacture 1,000 shoes in a day. But to paint the shoe, we can paint only 200 shoes a day. Packing, we can do 10,000 shoes a day or 2,000 shoes a day. What is the bottleneck here? Even though we manufacture 1,000 shoes a day, we can paint only 200 shoes a day. So 200 shoes is our bottleneck. What we try to do in a bottleneck resource is, we try to improve it. We try to get another machine to paint. Suppose we get another few machines to paint, and now we can paint 1,500 units per day. Now what is the bottleneck resource? Total 1,500 units per day we can paint. Now what is the bottleneck resource? Now manufacturing is the bottleneck resource. We can paint 1,500 units now. We can pack 2,000 units now, but we can manufacture only 1,000 units. So our manufacturing becomes the bottleneck here. So bottleneck, when it comes, as and when you see a bottleneck, you try to keep improving the bottleneck. Understood? That is what we will see in throughput accounting. Throughput accounting, the definition is making best use of scarce resource. That's what we did in limiting factor of the same only. That's why I told you it's related, but it's not exactly the same, but it's totally related. Making the best use of scarce. So that there also we did the same. Our machine hours were scarce. It was a constraint of limiting factor. How we can make the best use of that limiting factor is what we saw. How will you find out? Contribution per limiting factor. We'll find out. We'll rank. Then we'll produce accordingly. Same similar thing we will do here. Here improvements we can do for practical purpose, theoretical purpose. Here also we'll try to do, when water is available, what we can do, we will see. We'll do some questions, we will see now. What is there? We saw contribution. Here we will see something called as throughput. There we saw contribution. No, here we will see something called as throughput. Throughput and contribution are almost the same only. What is contribution? Sales minus variable cost will give you contribution. Throughput is also sales minus variable cost. So what is the difference between throughput and contribution is, in throughput accounting, we will assume that our only variable cost is direct material. In throughput accounting, we'll assume that our only variable cost is direct material. Labor cost and all, it comes under fixed cost. In throughput accounting, we'll assume that only direct material is a variable cost, other cost and all are a fixed cost. So throughput is what is the, now tell me what is the new formula for throughput? Sales minus direct material cost is throughput, or sales minus variable cost is contribution. Here also is variable cost only. The only variable cost here is direct material only. Understood? So throughput, what you are assuming, very important assumption. What you are assuming? What you are assuming? Direct material is only the variable cost. Labor is fixed cost. When will labor become a fixed cost? When will labor become a fixed cost? Then logically, not this. Monthly salary. When it's wages, it will become a labor. When it's salary, it will become. And as monthly salary, we will pay. How many ever units we produce on, we will pay monthly salary. Whereas wages, we will pay based on how many units we produce. Understood? So here we will assume labor is fixed cost. Throughput is only the variable. Asna, tell them we only gave this. What can you do? Ask income. That's the concept is that only. They will not ask. That is the concept. We can't do anything. What is the assumption in throughput accounting? Direct material is the only variable cost. What is throughput formula? Sales minus direct material cost. All along. This is the throughput formula. This is what you need to know for now. Okay, what is the process I told you we'll do in bottleneck? If you have bottleneck, what we will do? First, we should identify what is the bottleneck. Then what we will do? We'll try to improve it. That we call it elevate. Elevate. The bottleneck is we had 200 units. Now we can make 1,500 units. We elevated the bottleneck. And then find out what is the new bottleneck. First find out the bottleneck, then elevate the bottleneck, then find out the new bottleneck and try to improve it. Eventually do this as a process, and generally throughput is said to be short term. MCQ they might ask, throughput is said to be short term. Understood? If you know this more than enough, update come to test understanding question number 2. Come to test understanding question number 2. After you go home, just mark what is being taught in class. Okay. Unnecessary, a lot of concepts in ACCA accounting, sorry, in specialist cost management, we can't go through everything. Same thing, whatever we studied, they'll get given in big form. Okay. Now, came to test answer question number 2. We'll first go through the question once. Demand for product P is 500 units per week. 3 products, and the product is made in 3 consecutive processes A, B, and C. So, 3 processes. If you see a question like this, you can tell that it is a question of theory of constraints. Sometimes you will not know whether it is limiting factor of this chapter. So here with this you can tell, and other factors also will be given below. We will see. Capacity is given. A can do a capacity of 400, B can do a capacity of 300, C can do a capacity of 250. Which is the first bottleneck? C. Okay, okay. First, the long run benefit to P Limited of increasing the sales of its product is a present value of $25,000 per additional unit sold per week. That is, if I sell 1 unit extra, listen to me, if I am able to sell 1 unit extra throughout my life, I will get a benefit of $25,000. That is, in year 1 I will get 10,000, year 2 10,000, year 3 10,000, year 4 10,000, like that every year. If I do present value of all those, total benefit of present value I will get is $25,000. Understood? If I am able to sell 1 unit extra. Understood or not? Investigation, the review the following possibilities. Machine A, if we buy, what will happen? Machine B, if we buy, what will happen? Machine C, if we buy, what will happen? Is given to us. They are asking what is the P Limited's best course of action. Understood? Now, tell me this. Which machine will we try to buy first? Out of process 3 processes we have, in which process we will try to buy a new machine? C. Yes. A can produce 400 units, B can produce 300 units, C can produce 250 units. If we buy more machine in machine A, already it can produce 400 units. It doesn't matter how many units A can produce. But whatever happens at the end of the day, C can produce only 250 units. Even if A can produce 1 lakh units, and the product goes to 3 processes, so in total we can produce only 250 units. So first we have to invest in a new machine in product process C. What they give about process C? Come to third point. If you buy an additional machine in process C, it will cost us how much? $2 million. This will increase the capacity by 300 units. So now what will be the new capacity if we invest in process C? A how much? 400. B 300. C 300 plus 250, 550. Okay. Because of me investing in machine C, how much extra units I am able to produce? Look at the question and tell, because of me, how much extra units I can produce? Nothing to calculate. Mind calculation, don't use calculator. 50 units. Even though it can produce 550 units, earlier we can produce only 300, so total we can produce 300 units. So because of me investing in machine C, what is the extra units I am producing? Earlier I was producing 50, earlier I was producing 250, now I can produce 300. So how many units extra I am producing? 50 units. Each unit how much benefit I will get? 25,000. Each unit extra I produce, I will get 25,000. So what is the total benefit I will get? 12,50,000 is the total benefit I will get. What is the cost of machine C?
2 million.
What is the cost of machine C?
2 million.
2 million. Is it better to invest only in machine C? No, cost is more than benefit. But we have to invest in machine C in order to invest in other machines. You have to know that first. Only when you invest in machine C, we can start investing in other machines. Understood? Yes or no? Now we know our new units. What are the new units you can produce? 400, 300 and 550. Next, what machine will you invest in?
B.
Process C. How much does it cost?
B, sir.
Huh?
B.
B only. How much does it cost?
1.5.
1.5 million. What happens if we invest? Double the capacity. Tell me what are the new number of units? 400 for A, 600 for B, doubles B, and 550 for C. How many units? It's increasing from starting. Earlier we were able to produce 250 units. Now how much we are able to produce? Oh, from starting I'm saying. From first. Before, from starting. 150. 150. Before invest. Will you get machine C alone? Will you get machine C alone? No. Now we are assuming we are getting machine C and machine B together. What? Because earlier considering all the three processes, how much we can produce? That is demand. Here it's a process. One unit goes through three processes. So a shoe I'm putting inside. 400 units of shoes manufacturing, but 300 units of shoe only we can paint, and 250 units of shoe only we can pack. Even though if you're able to pack 550 units of shoes, number of units shoes of you can paint is only 300 units. Understood? So will you get only machine C? No. Now we'll assume we're getting machine C and machine B together. We have to go in order only. Not machine C and machine A. Machine C and machine B, because B is the next bottleneck. Now tell me, from starting how many units extra we produced? 150 into per unit how much you will get? Per unit how much you will get?
37 lakh.
Per unit how much you will get?
25,000.
150 into 25,000, how much you will get?
37 lakh.
37 lakh 50,000. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Can you repeat it again, sir? 150 is
Per unit will get 25,000 rupees.
okay.
150 to 25,000, 37 lakh 50,000 rupees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understood? For that, how many machines we bought? We bought D and C. What is cost of machine C?
1.5.
C 20 lakhs. What is cost of machine B? 115 lakhs. What is the total cost? What is the total cost? 35 lakhs. 37 lakh 50,000 we will get. So what is the profit we are getting?
2 lakhs, sir.
7 lakh 50,000. 7 lakh 50,000. 37 lakh 50,000.
Cost is 35 lakhs, sir.
Benefit is
37 lakhs.
50,000 minus 35 lakhs. Sorry, 2 lakh 50,000. 2 lakh 50,000. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Now, is it profitable for us to get machine C and B together? Okay. If we now look at the units and tell me what is the new constraint? New bottleneck. A, 400 units. We will do for that also. Now, if you are getting machine A also means what will be our new? A will be 550. B will be increased to 600. C will be 550. How many as it increased from starting? How much has it increased from starting? Starting, we'll either see if you're going to buy machine C only alone together. Next will be C and B together. Next will be C, B and A together.
300.
From 250, now our capacity is 550. Wrong. Even though our capacity is 550, our demand for the products is only 500. So increase is only from 250 to 500. 250 units has increased. Now we can produce 550 units.
Okay.
Now we have the capacity to produce 550 units, but demand is only 500 units. Why do we produce 550 units? So 250 units. From 250 it has increased to 500. Our new capacity 500 units. 250 units increase.
Yes, sir.
Per unit, how much you are getting?
25,000.
How much the total you are getting?
62 lakh 50,000.
62 lakh 50,000. Understood?
Yes, sir.
What is the cost of buying machine C? 20 lakhs. What is the cost of buying machine B?
15 lakh.
What is the cost of buying machine A?
10 lakh.
What is the net benefit you are getting?
45 lakh. 17 lakh 50,000.
17 lakh 50,000 is the net benefit you are getting by purchasing all the three machines together. Understood?
Sir, in that age now 400, sir. We are increasing it. So the base amount is 550. That will be increased. 150, right?
Not from you see from starting. That's why I keep saying again and again.
150, sir.
Starting is 250. Initially we were able to produce 250 units.
Okay.
Now we can produce 550 units.
See,
Overall, it's one machine. It's just it's one product only.
Okay.
It's not three products. It's three processes. It's just one product.
Okay.
Shoe manufacturing, shoe painting, shoe packing. Earlier, we can produce only 250 units of finished goods of shoe. Now we can produce 550 units of shoe. But even though we can produce 550 units of shoe, our demand is only 500 units.
But B becomes 600.
Let it be 600. We can the capacity of B.
Okay.
We didn't increase to 600. No.
Yes.
Understood? Let it be 600, 700,000, whatever. That is the capacity of B. New capacity of B. Understood?
Yes.
So now tell me, what combination will you use?
3 combinations.
A, B and C. 3 will produce together.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Because in that we are getting more benefit of 17 lakh 50,000. How we have to start is first you have to see what is the bottleneck. What is the bottleneck initially?
C.
How much you can produce? Only 250 you can produce. First you'll increase that. If you increase that, what will be a new units?
550.
400 new units. 400, 300 and 550. Now how much you can produce? You can produce 300 units. So earlier we were able to produce 250 units. Now 50 units are increased. 50 into 2,000, 25,000 we will get some amount. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Next, what is the next bottleneck? B, 300 units. So we will increase B capacity. If we increase capacity, how much will be new number of units? Total new units will be 400, 600 and 550. 400, 600, 550. We will not get only B. C and B together because our C capacity will come down by C and B together. So now what will be a new capacity? Or new number of units? 400. Because A can only produce 400. So from 250 it has become 400. 150 units has increased. 150 into 25,000, that is the benefit we will get. We bought machine B and C now. So B cost and C cost you will take, you'll get the net benefit of 2,50,000. Next, now A is the limiting factor. Now we have to increase A's capacity. What is A's capacity? A's new capacity? 2,550 units, not by 550 units. They increase to 550 units from 400 to 550 units. So new will be 550, 600 and 550. Even though we are able to produce 550 units now, our demand is only 500 units. So it has increased only by 250 to 500. 250 units has increased. 250 into 25,000 you will get one benefit. Minus all the three costs, you will get the net benefit. Understood all of you? Yes or no? That is what we will do in this question. The best course of action is to buy machine A, B and C together. Not only C, not only B and C, but to buy A, B and C together. Will we buy only machine B? Why? Our C will be a limiting factor. So always go the order of limiting factors. Machine only A if we buy now, A will become 550. B will be 300. C will be 250. No use. So first only C, next is C and B, next is A, B, C. Find out the profit and loss for all the three, and whichever is best, you will do that. Understood all of you? I'll give you 5 minutes time. Please go through this question once. Discuss. Please go through this question and discuss once. Test and understanding question number 2. Okay. In throughput accounting, we have certain concepts to be covered. We'll cover that. Then we'll cover target costing and then we'll close today's class. Okay. What are you looking at the time? Normally clock I will take and keep it inside. But I don't have the energy to keep it inside. Time and all is not see only. No time only. Now we've attended 8 hours, 9 hours class for 10 days, 9 days straight and all. This is just not even how much? Not even 7 hours class. 8 hours, 9 hours class we used to attend on a daily basis. No, daily class we had. This is just 7 hours class, that too are so many breaks in between. So now it's easy peasy. Before exam you'll have, don't worry. Before exam and all, daily pack your lunch and come here. You'll have daily tests, daily theory practice, theory reciting. Like how we have Bible or Bhagavad Gita reciting, in our class we'll have theory reciting. Daily morning you have to come, you have to recite theory. Close your eyes. If I tell this chapter, na, that chapter theory from starting to end you have to tell without seeing. Every theory, possible theory we write on our book. Every possible theory which you ask an exam for section C, we'll try to write in our books. Not even 1 mark theory we should try to lose in section C. Section A and B, nothing we can do. If it's coming difficult now, we can't even touch it. We can give our best. But section C theory we are not going to lose. Every possible theory we see in section C, no, including what is there in our book, everything we'll write down. This chapter, if I tell this chapter, na, from starting to end, you have to tell the theory. Like that, we will study every entire theory. Now let us proceed to the next concept. Same only. Come to throughput calculation, that question 1. Don't see the answer. Don't see the answer. Very easy question. Seeing okay. Profit is 1,20,000 is given to us. They are using marginal costing. CS ratio is 75%. Material cost is 10% of sales value, and there are no other variable production overheads. Fixed cost was 3 lakhs. Leave the material cost of that 10% is given to us. With profit, CS ratio and fixed cost, what and all we can find? Leave that's how BEP is not required. Correct, BEP is not required. How will you find contribution? Profit plus the fixed cost. Sales minus variable cost will get contribution, minus fixed cost will get profit. No. Profit plus fixed cost will get contribution. So profit is how much? 1,20,000 plus fixed cost is 3 lakhs. 1,20,000 is 4,20,000 is your contribution. With contribution and CS ratio, what we can find? Sales. How will you find? Correct, exactly. Nothing. Very easy you have to say. What is contribution by sales ratio formula? Contribution by sales is equal to into 100 is equal to 75%. Is equal to 75. Contribution by sales is equal to 75%. We have contribution with us. We have contribution with us. Do we have sales with us? No, we have to find out sales. So sales we keep it here. Sales is equal to contribution divided by sales we are taking there, 75% we are getting here. So sales is equal to contribution divided by 75%. What is contribution? 4,20,000 divided by 75%. Use the calculator. 4,20,000 divided by 75% is equal to 5,60,000. 5,60,000 is your sales. Sales we found. What are they asking? What is the value of throughput? What is the formula for throughput? Minus direct material cost. Sales, do we have answer? Yes, we just found out. Direct material, what they have given? 10% of sales value. So from 5,60,000, 10% is 56,000 is material. So sales value material is 5,04,000 will be your throughput value. Understood? Listen, they'll ask you 2 more questions. Understood how to calculate throughput. They'll not directly give you sales, they'll not directly give you material, ask you to find throughput. Question like this only will be asked in CVP analysis also. You don't get confused to that extent. Here, they are not given separately also. You don't go to that extent and all. That you see only in which lesson? What that lesson? Which lesson? What lesson? In that what concept? Which concept? Joint cost. Joint cost and further processing cost. There we saw that. Understood? Now we will see something called as throughput accounting ratio. Throughput accounting ratio is a separate concept. It will not be learned anywhere. You just know whether it's good or not. Understood? First, how do you find throughput accounting ratios? First, we find the throughput. What is the throughput formula?
Sales minus direct material cost.
That is throughput per unit. Throughput per unit. We have to find the throughput per bottleneck resource. Like how we find contribution per bottleneck resource. Here, same thing we will do. Same way we will rank throughput, bottleneck resource, throughput per bottleneck. Same way we will do. That's a separate formula. That will come later. Now we will learn this. Now we are going to learn a ratio called as throughput accounting ratio. Okay, for that, first you have to find something called as throughput per bottleneck resource. How will you find throughput per unit divided by bottleneck resource? You will get the throughput per bottleneck resource. Same way, you have to find the cost per bottleneck resource. What you will do? Total cost divided by bottleneck. Other than material cost, any other cost is fixed cost? No. Total that for fixed cost divided by bottleneck resource. You will get the cost per bottleneck resource. Above you found the throughput per bottleneck resource. Below you found the cost per bottleneck resource. That divided by this, you will get the throughput accounting ratio. It should be more than 1 or less than 1, which is better for us. More than 1, always return should be more than the cost. So throughput per bottleneck resource should be more than the cost per bottleneck resource. More than 1 it's good. Less than 1, it's not good. That's the only thing you have to remember in throughput accounting ratio. Nothing else is required. Understood all of you. For to find throughput accounting ratio, what are the two things you have to find out? Per bottleneck. What is throughput per bottleneck formula? Total cost. Total cost divided by total bottleneck. At bottleneck per throughput per unit, bottleneck per unit. Total cost divided by total bottleneck resource. You will get the per unit. Total. Both same only you will get. Both if you do, you will get the per bottleneck resource you will get. Understood? If you do that, if you divide both, you will get the throughput accounting ratio. If it's more than 1, it is good. If it's less than 1, it is. If it's more than 1, it means the return is more than the cost. Less than 1, it means the cost is more than the return. Understood? Come to test your understanding question number 3. Someone read the question, no? Okay. Okay. Now what we will do? Return per factory hour. Return per factory hour is nothing but throughput per factory hour. Factory hour is the bottleneck resource here. Factory hour and machine hour both are same. It's the bottleneck resource here. They are asking for the return per factory hour. Throughput or return both are same. They are asking for throughput or return per factory hour. How will you find out? What is throughput per unit? 85 is the selling price per unit minus direct material cost is 42.5. Huh? Per unit divided by what is bottleneck per unit? 1.5. Machine hours is the bottleneck. Machining is limited. They've given no. It is a bottleneck. What is that divided by 1.5? 42.5 divided by 1.5 you will get 28.33 is the return per factory or return per bottleneck resource. Next they are asking what? Next they are asking TPAR. TPAR is throughput accounting ratio. Return per hour we found out. Divided by cost per hour. To find cost per hour, what we have to do? Total cost divided by total hours. Total bottleneck hours. Total cost is what? 8,000. Okay, next. The total cost you're taking, no, the cost, the total cost you have to take only the cost which you didn't consider in above return formula. In throughput, you would have considered machine cost. Other costs will come here. Total cost is 8,000 each week divided by everything is given for per week only. So we'll take everything per week only. Divided by total hours. What is total hours? Correct. Why you don't correct only? Think and tell properly. No. Almost correct. Tell. 400. Each machine can be used for 40 hours, sir. 10 machines we have. 10 into 40 is 400. 8,000 divided by 400 is how much? 400. 8,000 divided by 400 is 20. 8,000 divided by 400 is 20. What is return per hour? 33. Divided by what is divided by 20. What you will get? 1.4165 is the TP accounting ratio. Understood? Now we will do a concept where whatever it is limiting factor, same thing we will do here. Understood? Before that, do additional example. I'll give you 2 minutes time. Do additional example. I'll give you 2 minutes time, please do this. Don't do also. I'll tell you about nothing is there. What is there? Selling price is 10, material cost is 3. With that, what we can find out? Throughput. What is throughput? 7. Sales minus direct material. Total operating expenses are 50,000 rupees per month. Labor hours is limited to 20,000 hours each month. Each unit takes 2 hours to assemble. They're asking for TPIR. First, what we'll find out? What is the numerator? What is the numerator? Throughput per bottleneck or return per bottleneck. What is throughput? 7. Divided by what is per unit? How much bottleneck is so 2. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Divided by cost per hour is what you'll do? How will you find the cost per hour? Total cost divided by total bottleneck. What is total cost? 50,000 divided by total cost 20,000. You'll get how much? 2.5. 3.5 divided by 2.5. You will get 1.4. 1.4 is your throughput accounting ratio. Understood, all of you? How can you improve throughput accounting ratio? Numerator should increase or denominator should reduce. Numerator should increase, so what should happen? Sales should increase. Correct? Or direct material should reduce. What other thing we can do? Below denominator, what we can do? Fixed cost or operating expense. We got operating expense. Operating expense should reduce. 2, 3 things should happen. Sales should increase. Material should reduce. Direct material should reduce. Operating expense should reduce. Understood? If these 3 things happen, your throughput accounting ratio will increase. This is what you have to understand. Or improve the productivity of the bottleneck resource. Currently, that machine is producing 40 hours now. Try to make it to produce 41 hours. This also, if you do, TPR will increase. 4 things in which TPR will increase. What are the 4 things? First one is selling price. Second one is direct material. Third one is decrease the direct material. Third one is operating expense or fixed cost. Then increase productivity of bottleneck. Understood, all of you? This is what we will do to increase the TPR. Now we will do multi-product decision making. When we have multiple products, not multiple bottleneck. Bottleneck will always be one only. When you have multiple products, what we will do there? Wrong. That's why you have to revise and come. When you have multiple products, what will we do there? Rank only we will do. Multiple limiting factors only we will do equations and do. Multiple products, if we do, we will do ranking only. Here also we will have multiple products. Come to test and understanding question number 4. Same thing we will do. Remember one thing in mind, same thing we will do, but instead of taking contribution per limiting factor, here we will take throughput per bottleneck resource. Understood? That's only difference between that chapter and this chapter. Understood, all of you? Come to test and understanding question number 4. What is given to us? We have 4 products A, B, C and D. Sales is given, material cost is given, direct labor cost is given. Will we take direct labor cost? No, we will take only throughput. So we will not take direct labor cost. Leave that. Next, what is given? Machine time per unit, labor time per unit is given to us. Understood? Next, what is given to us? Sales demand is given to us. Okay. What is given below? Machine time is the bottleneck resource. Okay. And the maximum capacity is 400 machine hours each week. Okay. Operating costs including direct labor hours are 5,440. I told you, no, this will include labor cost also. Labor cost you need not take in variable cost. It will be included in this operating cost only. So labor cost will be included here. So you can directly take it away. Not required for us. Understood? Because the operating cost it should include. That is what is the assumption. In our assumption only material is a variable cost. Understood? Direct labor costs are $12 per hour and direct labor hours worked. Workers are paid 38-hour week with no overtime. Whatever it is, we'll not care. We'll come to that later. Determine the quantities of each product that should be manufactured and sold in order to maximize the profit and calculate the weekly profit. First, when you see the word bottleneck, you should know that it is from this chapter. You don't find out contribution per limiting factor and do the question. Here it is a theory of throughput chapter. First, you have to find throughput. How will you find throughput? Sales. What is sales? What is the sales? A, B, C. Don't write. I'll give you time to write. What is sales? Take only calculators. 1.4, 0.8, 1.2 and 2.8. What is the direct material cost?
0.6, 0.3, 0.6,
1. If you reduce both, what you will get? You will get throughput per unit. 1.6 minus 0.4, how much will you get? 0.8 minus 0.3, how much will you get? 1.2 minus 0.6, how much will you get? 2.8 minus 1, how much will you get? 1.8. So throughput we got. Now what we will do? First, what is our bottleneck here? Machine hours. So we have to divide it based on machine hours, machine time per unit. How much? 5 2, 6. If we divide throughput and machine time, what we will get? Throughput per machine time we will get. Throughput per machine, that is throughput per machine unit. Sorry, unit, minute. Throughput per minute. When you dividing by minutes now, you'll get per minute. When you divide by hours, you'll get per hour. So we got the throughput per machine minute. So 0.8. Huh? But given in what? It's given in minutes. Still what? Throughput per unit is what we earlier found out. Divided by machine time, we get throughput per machine time. Machine time is what? Unit, minutes here. Throughput per machine minutes. Understood? 0.8 divided by 0.5, how much you will get? 0.8 divided by 5, how much you will get? 0.16. 0.5 divided by 2, how much you will get? 0.6 divided by 3, how much you will get? 0.2. 1.8 divided by 6, how much you will get? Understood? This is throughput per minute. No rank. What is the first rank? You will get what? 0.3 is there, no? D. Next is B, 0.25. Next is C. Next is A. Understood? We will rank that. Next, what we will do? Next, whatever we do. What is the total time available?
400 hours.
But we are talking everything in terms of what? Minutes. So we will convert that 400 hours into minutes. So total time available is equal to 24,000 minutes. First preference, what we will give to D. D, how many units we have to produce? 1,500 units into 6 minutes per unit. So total minutes are 9,000 minutes. How much will be left? 24,000 minus 9,000 will give you 15,000. Next, what we will produce? D. D, how much units will produce? 2,000. Don't write. Try to recall. Try to visualize. Visualize. Very important. 2,000 into 2, 4,000. Be very careful. Don't take the labor time. Take only the machine time. Labor time is not the limiting factor. Machine time is the bottleneck. 11,000 will be left. Next, what is the limiting factor? It's a bottleneck. C. How much units will produce? 2,000. 2,000 into the time is 4,000. So how much will be left? 7,000. A, how many units we need? 2,000 units. Per unit, how much we need? So 10,000 is not available. So 7,000 divided by 5 units, if you do, how much will get? 7,000 minutes divided by 5 minutes, how much will get? 1,000. C is 2,500 into 3, 7,500. Okay. C is 7,500. If you do that, how much you will get? 3,500 is what will be left. Divided by A, per unit is 5 units, 5 minutes is required. So 3,500 divided by 5 minutes, 700 units of A we can produce. Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What are they asking? Determine the quantities of each product. A fully will see, B fully will produce, C fully will produce, D fully will produce, and in A will produce 700 units. And calculate the weekly profit. How do you calculate the profit? Sales price into number of units you put. You will get or sales price into throughput also you put. Sales units. Number of units into throughput you directly put, you get the throughput. Like how you find the contribution by fixed cost there. Take the number of units into throughput, you get the total throughput. To that you minus your operating expense. How much? 5,440. You will get your profit. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Totally. Not for each product. Totally. When you always find limiting factor, you will find the total profit only. There also totally how much profit, how many units you have to sell in each product to get the maximized profit. Understood, all of it? Yes or no? Tested understanding 5, do it as your homework. Tested understanding 5, do it as your homework. In that everything you should know. Because we learned ABC costing, we learned throughput, we learned pricing. We came here after learning every chapter. So, 4? CBF company is there? Not there? Okay, I will send that photo in the group. You please do the question and come. That we will discuss in the next class. Now we will proceed with throughput in public sector. Nothing is there. Is that there in your book?
Yes.
Come to that question. Same. In public sector, not profit. Same thing we will do. No difference. Different wordings here are given. See the first box. What is given to us? We are talking about a hospital. Okay. What is the first heading? Time
Time per
per patient in hours. Total hours available per week. To take an X-ray, how much time per patient is required?
0.5.
Huh?
0.5.
0.5 hours is required to take X-ray of one patient. Total how many hours are available?
80.
Total how many X-rays can we take?
1.
Any other answer? Any other answer? What do you got? There is nothing to get stuck here. To take an X-ray per patient, 0.5 hours is required. What is total hours available for taking X-ray? 80 hours. So 0.5 hours we can take 1. In 1 hour we can take 2. 2 into 80 we will get 160 hours. Or we can do 80 divided by 1.5. 80 divided by 1.5 if you do, you will get 160 X-rays you can take. Write that inside the side. To interpret, once we take an X-ray, to interpret the result, it takes 0.2 hours. To interpret the result, how many hours it takes?
0.2.
What are the total hours available? 40 divided by 0.2 if you do? 200 hours, 200 results you can interpret. What it means is you interpret 200 results. 200 X-rays you can see and interpret. Third process is recalling patients who need further investigation. Per patient, how much time is required? 0.4. Total hours available is 60. 60 divided by 0.4 is 150. Patients can be recalled. 150 patients can be recalled. 160 patients X-ray can be taken. 200 patients results can be interpreted. And 150 patients can be recalled. What is the constraint or bottleneck here? Recall the patients is a constraint here. So we have to improve, take more efforts to improve that process or put more labor in that process to recall the patients. Once we do that, we'll get another bottleneck. Again, if we make efforts to improve that bottleneck, once we put that, we'll get another bottleneck. We'll do that and we keep doing this process until what time? For life, until what time? Until we reach our maximum demand. Until we're able to cater our maximum demand, we'll keep going on to this process. Understood, all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can you proceed? Nothing more you have to remember from this. This is what is required. Now we will proceed to our next concept called as target costing. Once you finish target costing, you'll give you time to revise. Very easy concept, target costing. Once you complete this, I'll give you time to revise. Illustration number 4. Then we have steps and all are not required. Cost gap. Benefits of target. Okay, done. We're almost there. It will take not more than 20 minutes. Then I'll give you half an hour time to discuss the entire chapter and then you can go. Understood? What happened? She's? Leave and all not possible only. After you wait. After 30 minutes of revision, you have to write 2 questions on CVP analysis and what did you study thoroughly that day? CVP analysis and pricing. We'll do pricing. Leave CVP analysis. We'll do 2 questions on pricing and then you can go. Test the pricing. Not you will do. You will do, not me.
Only she, sir.
What? All of you? What only she? What only she? Now only exams are starting now. Slowly will increase speed. Slowly will increase the length of the classes. Don't worry. Understood.
This is drastic only, sir.
How is this drastic?
We just had 3 hours class.
3 hours of intense class with, now we have 7 hours class with a lot of breaks. The 3 hours of intense class with 7 hours class with a lot of breaks.
Only 1 break.
Lot of breaks you had in between.
Sir, 1 break only, sir.
You have break to do question.
So that is
There is nothing to think, no. I taught you the question, you have to just write the question again. That what you have to think. I taught you the question. With water memory, you just have to write. Now the first time you're thinking and writing. Breaking, that is resting mind only. That nothing is working. Whatever I thought you writing away and coming with memory, that's not working. Working is where you are thinking and writing a new question. That you will do after 30 minutes of break. In 20 minutes, I will complete this. Time is 4:25 maximum. I will complete this. 4:25 to 5 o'clock, you will have revision of entire sub chapter. This entire chapter, go through once. And whatever I taught you, that all you mark. You will know now. Now you will know whatever I taught you, that all you mark. Then we will do on pricing. We do the section 3 question, no? We will do some good questions on pricing and then you can go home. Today, once you go home, your target is to revise planning with limiting factors. Thoroughly. Planning with limiting factors, revise thoroughly and come. Tomorrow I will tell you what the schedule is later. Understood? Now let us proceed to target costing. Most easiest concept of all is target costing. Set a target. That is target costing. However, what are we going to study this entire chapter, sir? How will you set a target cost? Exactly. Suppose I am starting some restaurant means I am going to sell Chinese. Fried rice means based on my restaurant, whatever my competitors are keeping, that only I should keep. More than that, if I keep, they will not come. So that is my target selling price. I should ensure I don't cross that selling price. So my target selling price is 160 rupees, which I saw for my competitors. Correct? I can set a target selling price. I can set more than that. Less than that I can do, but target is that. More than that I can set, because more than I can set, no one will come to me. My target profit, assuming let it be 30 rupees. My target profit is how much? 30 rupees. Target selling prices. 160. Target profit is 30 rupees. So if you do this, target selling price minus target profit, my target cost, my cost should reduce, should be within 130 rupees. That is target cost concept. Target selling price minus target profit will give you your target cost. My actual cost is 140 rupees. What is my target cost? My cost gap is 10 rupees. I have to take enough efforts. I have to do cost control measures in order to reduce my cost from 140 rupees to 130 rupees. Understood? This is what we are going to do the entire chapter. Did we learn cost plus markup, sales plus margin, how to go from markup to margin, margin to markup? Okay. That will be useful here. Come to illustration number 4. What are they given to us? The cost is $14, profit is $15. So our current selling price is 19 rupees. Understood? This is what you normally do in cost plus pricing. We arrive at cost, we add a profit to it, we arrive at selling price. If we do this, what will happen? Employees will not take any efforts to reduce cost. Whatever cost they are incurring, that they'll get as the actual cost. So because of the target cost came into picture, we will give them a target cost and they have to make their cost with the target cost. They have to do whatever they want in order to come to the target cost. Understood? Now, how will we arrive at target cost? For what do we need first? In target selling price we need. After that, what you will do? Target profit. If you subtract both, what you will get? Target cost. Now, our cost minus target cost, what you will get? Cost gap. Cost gap. Our cost minus target cost, you will get cost gap. Cost gap you will get only when our cost is more than target cost. Our cost is less than target cost, and there is no cost gap. You are already in good position. Only when our cost is more than the target cost gap will come into picture. Understood, all of you? So how can we close cost gap? We will see 5 lines. We will see. First, we have to ask ourselves a few questions. Can any materials be eliminated? Believe me, every small change we make will have a huge impact. iPhone stopped giving iPhone chargers, no. They are unnecessary. Everyone have an iPhone, they are upgrading, so they stopped giving chargers and they reduce the cost. How much some chargers cost? It will cost me 500 rupees to make. Or whatever it is, I don't know. It will cost me 500 rupees to make. So any materials you eliminate, they eliminate the material. There are a target cost, exceeded that, so they will see if there any materials can be eliminated and they eliminated the charger. Second, Can any cheaper materials be used without compromising on quality? We have to see. Now we are using some material. Steel bottle is there. Can use any other material other than any metal? Any other metal we can use? We can see. Or copper we can use. We can see. Any other material which we can use without compromising on quality? We can use a cheaper material. Any other substitute cheaper material can be used without compromising on quality. We have to see. What is the first point? First, any materials can be eliminated. Second, any cheaper materials can be used without compromising on your quality. Third, same. Any labor can be saved without compromise on quality. Can be saved without compromise on quality. Instead of using costly labor, can use some cheap labor who can do the same products that we can see. That is the third point. Any labor can be used. Any labor can be saved without compromise on quality. So what is the first point? Any material can be eliminated in total. Second point, cheaper material can be used without compromise on quality. Third point, saved without compromise on quality. Fourth is, can improve our productivity. That is, able to produce 2 units now. Can we use the same labor? Close your books. Books are not required. Can we use the same labor to produce 3 units? We have to see. With one labor, if you are able to produce 2 units, can we see if with one labor can be able to produce 3 units in per hour? We see. So any productivity can be improved. We have to see. What is the first point? Second, all the material. Cheaper material can be used without compromising on quality. Third, labor savings can be made. Productivity can be improved. Can we achieve economies of scale? Fifth point is, can we achieve economies of scale? What do you mean by that? When you produce more, cheaper, it becomes cheaper. Supply will give a cheap price. Your employees, they will become used to learning curve. Did we learn learning curve anywhere? Questions? See, you learn learning curve questions? Riska, FR learning curve. Did you learn learning curve in FR? Learning curve we learn here. Learning curve questions that we do? FM we did, I guess, learning curve. We did learning curve there. Learning curve will come here, we will do that. So, can you achieve economies of scale? Actually, more products we can produce and we can reduce the cost. 5 points will remember more than. What is the first point? Materials can be eliminated. Second, cheaper materials can be used without compromise on quality. Third, without compromise on quality. Fourth, can be improved. Of scale can be achieved. Understood? Now come to test and understanding question number 6, and then we have benefits of target costing. Then we are done. Come to test and understanding question number 6 or 5, whatever is in the Dharani book. Nana, listen very carefully. Listen. Company C is currently considering expansion into manufacturing two products. A printer and digital camera. What are the 2 products? When reading the question, you have to know the story of the question. And when you go into the next question, next part of the question, you will be able to visualize the story. So try to build a story in your head. 2 products, printer and digital camera. Normally uses the pricing policy of 10% markup on prime cost. What is prime cost?
Direct material, direct
Labor, direct expense. Okay, on that you have 10% markup. However, as both the printing and the camera markets are highly competitive, the finance director is considering the use of target costing approach, but wants to retain the same markup. Doesn't want to reduce the markup, but it wants to reduce the cost by bringing in target costing methods. Understood? For printer and digital camera, they are given separately. Printer, what they have given? The maximum price that the market will support for the printer is 200 units. So 200 rupees per printer. 60% of the direct cost of each printer is expected to be polymer. Now tell me, without seeing what are the story you learned till now, without seeing you tell me. What are the 2 products? What is the earlier markup? Selling price. Without seeing you tell. On 10% markup on? Prime cost. What is the prime cost? Material, direct labor, direct expenses. Okay. Now what they want to do? They want to bring target costing, but they want to have same markup. Same markup they want to have. Super. So 10% markup on direct material, direct labor, direct expense they want to have. Super. Printers, what they've given? Selling prices 200. In that, 60% of direct cost. 60% of direct cost is polymer. Some new product is a polymer. We'll come to it. Able to remember the story? Yeah. If you remember the story and go to the question, it will be very easy to do the question. Now, digital camera. 40% of the digital camera, direct cost of digital camera is what? Software. Minimum price that the company can source the software is how much? 76 rupees, which has been built into the budget. Okay. On this basis, company C has determined that the cost gap between the budgeted cost per digital camera and target cost per digital camera is 23 rupees. Cost gap is 23.7 rupees. How will you get cost gap? Which is higher? Our cost is 23.7 rupees more than target cost. Understood? Yes or no? Okay. What is the target cost of the polymer to be used in the manufacture of printer? We'll go one by one. First, we'll come to printer. Printer, what they are given? 200 is the selling price. And what is here? Okay. 60% direct cost. It's this thing called polymer. What they are asking? What is the target cost of the polymer they are asking? How will you find out? First, you have to find out the target selling price. We have how will you find target selling price? We have. How will you find the target profit? Exactly, 10% markup we saw earlier. No, 10% markup on prime cost is target profit. Selling price and markup is given. What do you do? How will you do? Markup to margin, if you go markup to margin. Markup to margin, you have to add it. So 10 divided by 110. So 200 into 10 divided by 110. If you do, you will get the profit. How much you will get? Percentage, not the amount. Same percent, markup percentage. So 210 divided by 110. What you will get? 18.18 is what? Profit. Is the profit we want. Target selling price is how much? Target selling price is 200. Target profit is 18.19. What is the target cost? 181.81. No, 18.18 you are saying. How will it be 81? 200 minus 18.18 will give you 181.82. Directly, if you put the other thing, one you should. This you put 18.18. No, but that should be 181.82. Both together should be 200. Understood? What is the target cost? 181.82. 181.82 is the target cost. Out of that, 60% is polymer. Into 60%, what are you getting? 109.09. 109.09 is the target cost of polymer. Understood? They are not asking total target cost. They are asking target cost of polymer. Find the total target cost. What proportion of the total cost is polymer? You find out. That should be the target cost of polymer product alone. Understood? Now we will go to digital camera. Assume that the target costing principles are adopted. What is the maximum selling price that the company can charge per digital camera? So they are asking what is the maximum selling price the company can charge. What we can do? They gave the cost gap. So okay, we can do two things. If you want to find the target cost, target selling price, target profit is the target cost. Or we can find target cost and target profit, you will get the target selling price. This target cost is given to us. That's not target cost. Minimum price from which we can get the product is 76. Maximum we can get for 1 lakh also. The minimum we can get is 76. They're saying, look. To make digital camera, listen to me. To make digital camera, we need software. The software we can minimum source it for 76 rupees. What is the proportion of the cost of software? 40%. So 76 divided by 40% is how much? 190 is not the target cost. 190 is what we can source the cost. What is our cost? 190 is not the target cost. 190 is what is our cost. Understood?
R cost
40% of the cost is 76 rupees. The software cost we can get it for is 76 rupees. Understood? Software cost represents 40%. So total cost is 100%. 76 divided by 40% if you do. So the total R cost, we can complete the camera in 190 rupees. What is the cost gap? 23.7. R cost minus target cost. So 190 minus target cost will give you cost gap. 190 minus target cost gap is how much? 23.7. So target cost will be equal to 190 minus 23.7. How much you will get? 166.3 will be your target cost. But what they are asking in the question, what is the maximum selling price? What is the maximum selling price? 10% markup you want. Cost we have, markup we have. Do we have to do anything? We can directly take. So 166 into 10 divided by 100, you will get how much? 116.63 plus 166.3, you will get 182.93 will be your target selling. Target cost plus 10% markup will get your target selling price. Understood all of you? How did we find the target cost in the second question? Without saying, tell me. 76 we got. 40% of the cost we got is 76. That is a minimum we can do it in. So we'll do it in 76 rupees. 40%. What is 100%? We have to find out. 76 divided by 40% will get the total cost of our cost. 190. Cost gap is 23.7. 190 minus 23.7 is target cost. Target cost plus target profit 10% markup. Cost plus markup if we do, we'll get the targeted selling price. This is how this question should be solved. 4 benefits you'll see, and then I'll give you time to discuss. Understood?
Yes.
What are the benefits of target cost? First, it focuses on what the customers are ready to pay. It doesn't see how much we are ready to sell it for. It focuses on how much the customers are ready to pay. That is when you'll be able to sell more products. What is the first advantage? Focus on how much the customers are ready, because from that only we start. We start from target selling price. So it focuses on, tell fully, it focuses on how much the customers are ready to pay. It motivates us to reduce cost. When you see that's a target cost, say our cost is more, right? It motivates us to reduce cost. Second point is, tell again. Third is, it improves our competitiveness. Because we have set a selling price at some price, we want to sell it at that price, it improves our competitiveness and in the market. Third point is, it improves our competitiveness. Tell, what is the third point? What is the third point? And fourth point is, we will start cost controlling right from first stage. Don't see the book. We will start, try to visualize. We will start cost controlling right from first stage. After incurring the cost, after finding the selling price, then after reducing the cost, this we'll do before only. Starting will determine the selling price, starting will determine the profit, then we'll find the cost. Based on that, we'll start working. So cost control, we'll start to do right from starting. Cost control will be considered right from the first stage, starting stage. Cost control will be considered right from the starting stage. What is the first point? It focuses on what the customers are ready to pay. Tell again, what is the first point? What the customers are ready to pay. Second point, it motivates us to reduce cost. It motivates us to reduce cost. What is the first point? Focus on what the customers are ready to pay. Second point, us to reduce cost. Third point, because of that it improves our competitiveness. That is the third point. And fourth point is, cost control will start doing right from the first stage of starting. So these are the 4 benefits of target costing. That's all the concepts we'll see in tomorrow's class. I'll give 30 minutes time to discuss this entire chapter, whatever we did, right from starting to end. Do the homework now also. The homework question is sent to the group right now. Do the homework question now also. After 30 minutes, I'll give you a question to do from pricing. After that, you can go home. Understood?